We are back with our second session from Denis Lunev from DepositFix, who also happened to be my husband. This is his part-time job. And we will talk about payment integration into HubSpot. Denis, take it away.
Hello, everyone. And first of all, thanks, everyone. Thanks to all partners who agreed to speak at this event. And of course, to all attendees who are looking to level up their HubSpot setup. So what we're gonna cover in this talk is payment integration, and also the ways how you can use HubSpot, not just for marketing, sales, and support, but for other functions of the business, and why deeply integrated tools can make a big difference, and what are the difference, what are the different HubSpot building blocks that you can use to create an ultimate business machine. So let me share my screen so we can start with that. Let me know if you can see my screen. Yep, great. So let's talk about some integrations in general and HubSpot as an ecosystem. So as we use more and more different tools to run our businesses, the data about the customers becomes more fragmented. So we have some information in one system, something in another. As a result, there is an incomplete picture. One of the problems that might happen with that is when you start to make decisions based on the data from different sources. And then you don't know which system you can trust, what the latest update on the deal, did the customer pay or not, did the client churn, what's the different field values. So basically what you need to do is you need to pick one single source of truth so everyone from your team can rely on and know, okay, if I'm gonna go to that system, it's gonna be 100% accurate, and all other systems need to be updated based on that. And HubSpot can be a great choice for that because there's flexible data model, there are many different property types, a lot of annotations, as you might know, and most likely already majority of your business activities are happening in HubSpot anyways. So it makes total sense to have HubSpot as the central place for the business and then cut everything else. And then of course you need to bring data from other systems to HubSpot, and it can be done multiple ways, as Pete already showed in his presentation. It can be done using Zapier. It can be done with PySync, which is part of HubSpot already. It can be done using other tools and other integrations. But with this talk, I'm gonna take it even further and talk about how to extend HubSpot, not just using the data, but extend HubSpot functionality using integrated apps and different building blocks that you already have inside HubSpot, and what's possible to do with that combination, what use cases we can solve. So since we're at DepositFix work with the payments, I will be using some payment scenarios to show what can be done with HubSpot tools and HubSpot integrations. But one of the most basic building blocks from HubSpot are timeline events, workflows, forms, ability to send events, create tasks, and create content with the CMS. And let's start first with timeline events. So timeline events are displayed on the center of the contact view. They show different activities, and there are many standard timeline events from HubSpot, like contact created, form submitted, payment property changed, or emailed open, emailed click, stuff like that. And as you might know, there are many integration apps that have their own timeline events. And it can be very useful, not just for the visual component, but for actually triggering workflow. So it's one of the main benefits of those timeline events is you can trigger workflows based on all of those. And also you can use internal properties of the events for filtering the events. So for example, form submitted, which form, what contact properties you're looking for, and then you can use that with a combination with the workflows. It can be a very powerful thing, and you can automate all things. Form submitted, add contact to the list. Or with the case with the payments, new order received, send an email. Or new order received, but payment is failed, send another email. So there are a lot of different combinations and a lot of different things that can be automated. So speaking about the emails, there are many tools that integrate with HubSpot that send their own emails. But there is a great benefit of taking that piece inside HubSpot and sending emails based on the events from the HubSpot itself, not from the other tool. For example, you have a payment system that can send receipts, invoices, confirmation emails, but there's great benefit of moving away from that functionality and bringing that back to HubSpot. So why would we do that? There are many reasons. So first of all, let's say email receipts. So on this example, on the left side, we have a generic Stripe email. On the left, Stripe is a payment gateway. And first of all, you cannot change much on that email apart from logo and colors. With HubSpot, you have full power of customization, and you can customize everything. You can do your own template. You can do your text. You can do personalization. So let's say we send an email for order confirmation after the payment. So you have a full control over that in HubSpot. And it means you can also add additional things to the order emails. And by the way, by some statistics, regular marketing email open rate is about 15%, but confirmation for order is about 70%. So if used wisely, those emails can be very, very powerful in terms of marketing. So let's say you have an order email. It means you can add things like, here's your order, some personalization information, and then, hey, we have a Facebook group. Join us here. Or, hey, we have a discount code that you can use to invite your friend. Here's the code. Or you can add additional upsell offers or anything like that. So things that you cannot do with other systems where you don't have control over the email, over the text and things. Second thing is segmentations. So inside HubSpot, you already have a lot of different properties, and most likely you already segment your list. So it means you can send different emails to different segments, and it can be based on almost anything, like can be order volume or industry or any other groups, lists, send anything that you already have inside HubSpot. And third thing, with HubSpot, you already have email analytics. So you can track open rates, click-through rates, devices, locations, stuff like that. And then you can optimize and iterate these emails and improve those based on the HubSpot, which you cannot do with most of the systems that you use for emails outside of HubSpot. And of course, A/B testing and things like that. Now let's talk about interesting process. It's called dunning. So dunning means asking your customers for money that they owe you. So it can be unpaid invoices, failed credit cards for subscriptions. We're gonna cover the credit card scenario. So let's say you have a monthly membership for some coaching services, and you charge your customers every month on a subscription basis. And so customers subscribe, then 7 months later, credit card expired or it got stolen, and then subscription stops. In many cases, you don't even know about that. So they still have access to your platform, but they don't pay you. So what you need to do is to actually notify the customer, or at least notify your team to then reach out to the customer and fix that problem. And by the way, based on the data by Profitwell, it's a subscription analytics tool, around 20% of the customer churn is due to failed credit card payments. So it can be very big chunk of the lost revenue. So let's see how it can be implemented inside HubSpot. So first, you need that trigger after the actual failed payment that we talked about. So it can be a timeline event from another system, or it can be, I don't know, Zapier trigger. Here's the failed payment happened. Now we need to do some activities to retrieve the payment. So you can have a workflow that can send email to the client with a text like, hey, we noticed there is a failed payment on your account for this kind of amount, for this kind of product and membership. To continue the service, you have to go and update your credit card. Use this link to go to the form and update your credit card. So that link can go to sign of billing portal where clients can update their credit cards. And then when they do that, the payment is recovered. The same workflow can be used to notify the internal team about that, or create tasks to call the client. So there are a lot of different activities can be generated just by that failed payment workflow. What do we have next? We have forms. A lot of contacts are coming from the forms. And with HubSpot, you can have up to 1,000 different fields with very flexible data types, and everything goes directly to the CRM. So that's it's very easy to use, as you know. Now let's say that you have some shopping cart or software to take payments, and it has its own data types, its own fields, and it might not match those that you already have. So first of all, you need to identify if you can use the custom fields outside of the HubSpot. And if you're syncing that information back to HubSpot, so first you need to make sure that you can create custom fields to match those that you already have inside HubSpot. Then you have to verify that those data types are compatible. For example, dates can be stored in different formats. And after that, you have to map fields from one system to another. With integrated approach, you can have the same HubSpot form that you already have, plus the payment fields on top. Then you don't have to map anything, and you can track conversions and everything. Basically, you can use the forms functionality that you already have inside HubSpot and the same data structure that you already have. And it brings us to the next capability, one of the most powerful things inside HubSpot that you have, reports. HubSpot reports are getting better and better as long as you have data to report on. So if you use those reports, you have to bring data inside HubSpot. For example, standard revenue reports rely on deals information. It can be amounts, dates, products, some custom fields you can create, discounts and stuff like that. And there are a lot of things that you can do based on the data. And there are already a lot of different reports prepared for you by HubSpot team that you can use. You can use you can create reports and group revenue by products, identifying most valuable clients who paid the most, or just showing subscription revenue versus one-time revenue and things like that. And especially with the new custom report builder, this functionality isn't beta right now, but it's gonna be super, super powerful. So you can do a lot of things using this custom report builder. Now let's talk about some more advanced stuff. Custom CRM extensions. So on the customer view, so we already covered the sender piece, which is timeline events. On the right side, you have CRM extensions. So it's a list with different actions. So you can create a deal, associated contact with the company, assign a ticket. There's a lot of standard extensions that are provided by HubSpot already. But some integrated applications provide their own CRM extensions. So you can have functionality provided by those apps inside HubSpot without leaving HubSpot. So for example, with DepositFix, we have functionality to refund payments or create new payments, cancel subscriptions, things like that. So this can be used with a customer hub, for example, or just CRM. So let's say you're getting tickets about refunding payments or canceling subscriptions. So option one, you can go to the payment gateway, search for the contact, do refund or do some billing operations there, get back to HubSpot, update the contact, update the some fields related to that payment. Or integrated app, you can do the same thing without leaving HubSpot, right from the CRM or Customer Hub. So it's another powerful thing that you can do with the highly integrated applications. And now another one of the most powerful thing, and it's a new functionality, custom workflow actions. This is a super cool feature, and it just got released, and we participated in beta testing and the initial launch of this. So what it does now inside workflow, you can have custom action from integrated application. So basically, you can perform some specific activity inside the workflow. Send data to specific app or do some activity. So before you would use trigger webhook event. It's kind of similar, but it was complicated and too technical. But now integrated apps provide user interface, and you can specify different parameters, and you can provide information about the contact and context about this operation. So for example, here, there's a remaining balance. You can create a charge. And another example, so let's say you have an online event and you collect some deposits before the event, but you want to charge the full amount only to those contacts who actually attended the event. So option number one, you can go again to the payment gateway, have a list who attended, charge everyone one by one, or with integrated application, now you can have a list segment at HubSpot. Then you can have a workflow with an action to charge contact for a specific amount. Then you trigger workflow against the list, and boom, everyone is charged. So this, with combination with timeline events and triggers, creates very powerful machine. So you can do anything with workflows right now. From one side, you have triggers from other apps. And now you have actions that can be triggered to other apps. And then you have HubSpot in the center. So with this thing, you can build your custom engine, or you can do a lot of things here, basically. And so with this, regarding the payments, what are other approaches to do all of that? Of course, there is different ways to import, export data to HubSpot, and some of them will be covered later. Some of them, like Zapier, already been covered. So in terms of payment integration, if you're looking for complete integrated app, when you have everything already pre-created, everything already thought through, and all of these different pieces stitched together using HubSpot as a source of truth, then we at DepositFix can help with that. One of our goals is to use HubSpot as a central hub for everything, push data there, and use existing features of HubSpot as much as possible. So that's in a nutshell. Do we have any questions?
Very good. Thank you so much. Then if you want to just maybe hide your screen so that people can see your face and not just tiny photo there. But hey, thank you so much. It was an awesome overview. I see a lot of comments there. Kathy is saying that specifically your the fourth benefit. She's saying that this is definitely interesting. Many people asking whether recording is going to be available. Yes, recording will be available. So you just log into the same AirMeet URL after the summit, and within 24 hours, all the recordings should be there. Diogen is saying that excellent presentation. Thank you so much. And Kathy is also saying one great takeaway that I really love. She's saying that we have not used the order confirmation email to the best capacity. And so we're definitely going to dig into that. I love it. Remember, in the beginning of the summit, I asked everyone to do at least one takeaway. So what is one takeaway that you're going to take from this presentation and implement, hopefully in the next couple of weeks? And Kathy, you nailed it right in the head. If there's anyone else who wants to share with everyone what you're going to implement in the coming weeks from this presentation, drop it in the chat, because I'm sure everyone else would be interested to know as well. Ivan is saying sounds really interesting as well. Definitely we can think about it for some of our customers. Awesome. Well, thank you much, everyone. Denis, thank you. It was my pleasure. And Peter's saying love this integration as well. A rich addition to HubSpot CRM. I know, right? Christina's saying try custom reports with DepositFix information. Thank you. All right. Thanks a lot, Christine. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And I'm going to see you in the next presentation in about 10 seconds. See you there.
Thank you, everyone.